Welcome to the largest artificial island in the whole world. I'm here in China on the Ocean Flower Island, also known as Haihua Island. It is here off the coast of Hainan Island in southern China, and it was built as an international tourist destination that opened in 2020. It is 1.5 times bigger than the famous Palm Island in Dubai, yet if you're watching from outside China, you've probably never heard of this place. At least I have never heard of it. If you research in English language, there's hardly any information about this place. Even the Wikipedia article is not up to date. So that's why I decided to travel here to this island and explore it myself. This here behind me is my hotel. There's actually a Hilton hotel here on the island, though I haven't seen many other tourists around. It looks perfectly maintained, beautiful with palm trees, but there are just no people here. And we're gonna have a look around, we're gonna explore the island. The island is massive, and so I'd say let's start. Here behind me you can see the two Hilton towers. The other one is right there, though at the moment only this one here is open. That's where I'm staying. The other one probably only opens during high season. And over here on this side we have a observation tower. That is supposed to be a observation tower, though I don't know if we can go up there. Let's have a look. That's the entrance. Uh-oh, it looks as if it's locked up with the bike locks. It's completely empty in there from what I see. Yeah. Also over here on the wall you can see the finished plan for the Ocean Flower Island. What Ocean Flower Island was supposed to look like. We have 3 islands in total. Ocean Flower Island is the big one in the middle. The left one and the right one are mostly residential areas. And then on the Ocean Flower Island, the big paddle in the middle, you can see there is like a lot of buildings on there. There's even a castle. Today it's just a park. This whole paddle is empty. It's just park area. So this did not turn out as it was supposed to be. And I have to say, the reality, what Ocean Flower Island is like today, does look quite different from that picture we saw in there in the observation tower. Wow, this is really pretty. They've rebuilt some ancient Chinese buildings over here, and there's a McDonald's over there, a beautiful garden, dragon lanterns, ancient buildings, beautiful location for a McDonald's. I think this is probably one of the most beautiful locations I've ever seen a McDonald's in. So you can get your chicken burger. Wow, this is beautiful. Beautiful architecture, nice trees, perfectly trimmed. Very, very nice. I really like it. Very traditional Chinese architecture with beautiful paintings, beautiful details up here. Lanterns. That's the McDonald's down there. Not a single soul around. So we have a lot of restaurants here everywhere. This seems to be some sort of restaurant street, all different kinds of foods, all different kinds of Chinese foods. And I think we're entering a new area. The architecture changes. Look, very different style. It almost reminds me of Japanese style. Oh wow. It's very loud here. The loudspeakers are blasting on full volume. The loudspeakers are the only thing we can hear though, because still I don't see other people. And we're entering a new area again. I don't really know what that style is. I haven't seen that before in China. It's like walking through different worlds, different Chinese provinces. And I think each of these different sections sells food from different provinces. For example, like the first section, they're selling Peking duck. And another section, they sold food from Sichuan province that numbs your mouth. And over here, we're again entering a new area. This looks like a Thai temple. That looks very Thai though. The restaurant says Haxenbauer. That is German. I assume they're selling pork knuckles there. Let's see, maybe I can have dinner there tonight. Okay. It's locked off. I'm not exactly sure if this is still operating. It looks pretty empty in there. It's an outstanding German restaurant of the year that seems to have a location in Shanghai. Okay, so here we have a German restaurant selling pork knuckles located in a typical Thai building in temple style. Interesting, it's closed though. And actually a lot of these places here look closed. If you look here, they're all locked up. We're entering again a new area. This almost looks like Germany. You see this architecture here with the wooden structures in the buildings. That does look very German to me. Also the beer advertisements here. I mean, that is the typical stereotype the world has about Germany. There's theme park music playing in the background. That's kind of nice. So it isn't too quiet and eerie. But there's just no one around. I'm not sure if these places are closed forever or only temporarily. It might be only closed for the season. Not sure. And now we're entering another European town. That looks very Mediterranean. So this whole island cost almost 25 billion US dollars to build. It was built by the Evergrande group. You might have heard of it. It used to be one of China's largest real estate developers, though in 2023 the company actually filed bankruptcy in the United States after accumulating a debt of 300 billion US dollars. That is a lot of debt. I think we're leaving Europe behind. Beautiful Roman statues. There's a little construction site. And over here, what is that? I see there is a map over here. Let's have a look at the map. So the whole island has 5 petals. We're in this petal here. And if I see correctly, we just walked through this whole street that's built in different architectural styles from across Europe and from across Asia. And now we're here at the wedding manor. Okay, so is this where people are taking their wedding photos? Because from what I know, Chinese people love to take their wedding pictures in European style environments. And I think this is one of those places. This does remind me a little bit of the fake Paris in Tiandusheng, where they rebuilt a whole fake Eiffel Tower. I visited this place last August. If you're interested, check out my old video. It does remind me a little bit of this place. It's very eerie, it's very empty. Oh, we can have a look inside there. The door's open. Let's go in, let's see what that is. It does look like a church without windows, which is nice, so it doesn't get too hot in here. But yeah, I think you can take your wedding photos in here. It does not look very well maintained in here. Look at all those leaves. Plants growing in there. It's a whole tree growing in here. Let's head back out. See what else is there. I think this glass structure over there was probably the only one that was opened. Because all the other buildings here look locked up. Let's have a look to the big church. That's the main one here, I think. Some grasses growing here. But it doesn't look too bad, so I don't think this place is completely abandoned. I do think it is used sometimes. Locked up. Okay, cannot go in there. That does look like a proper church in there. I don't know if you can see it through the glass. God, yeah, that does look like a proper church. Without a cross and without all the Christian stuff, of course. It's just for taking your photos. Huh? Maybe we can have a look inside. Yeah, it's opened. I found an entrance, nice. Beautiful. So I guess up there we're gonna have the groom and the bride. Here we have seating for all the guests. They definitely have to clean this place up a little bit before renting it out for a wedding again. Nice. The balconies up here are all fake. You can't go up there from what I see. Let's head back out because I think it is probably not supposed to be opened. If I read correctly, this huge building here, behind the trees here, this is a museum. A huge museum. I'm not exactly sure what the museum is about. I don't know if it is about the island. I don't think it is. But yeah, they've actually built a super nice museum right here behind me. I'm not gonna check this out for now, maybe later. Let's see, if it gets too hot out here, I'm gonna check it out. But for now, let's see what this is. Let's have a look. There's another map. So here on this map, you can have a view over the whole island. This is the paddle we're on right now. And this is where my hotel is located, the Hilton. And down here we have a water park and kind of SeaWorld park. And over here, this paddle is very interesting because here we have a big theme park. Now, I did a little bit of research. This theme park never opened. They started constructing it. Evergrande Group started constructing this theme park. It never opened because they're bankrupt now. I don't know if it's ever gonna open. Though the interesting thing when checking in, the lady at Hilton gave me a little overview over the island, and according to her, the theme park is only under maintenance. Maybe we can get a bit closer, maybe we can see what the actual situation is like. But for now, we're gonna continue down there. Down here, there's not even a door in there. It's broken. Did someone force this door open? These places look as if they've never opened. So some of the restaurants seem to be closed. It might be seasonal. But the further away you go from the point where we started, the more eerie and abandoned everything looks like. And I think a lot of these places here never ever opened up. This is so eerie. I mean, look at the doors. What's going on here? It's getting weird. The further I go, the stranger this place gets. We have another McDonald's here. That one's not open though. Yeah. That one's definitely closed right now. Another plaza, and it looks as if they took the inspiration from Spain. It looks like there's a bullfight going on down here. So if Western media picks up on a place like this island here, they always tend to jump to conclusions and say it's a failed project, all this money was wasted, these 25 billion US dollars are wasted. Though China operates very differently. China thinks very long term. You can see this at a lot of ghost cities like Ordos, which I also visited last year, the ghost city, the famous ghost city of Ordos. Though nowadays the city is occupied, it's completely filled up with people. They're even constructing new towers in Ordos city because China thinks ahead. And often these projects are not meant to be successful within the first couple of years. Often they're meant to be successful only in 10, 20 years. And I'm not sure, this island might be one of these examples. I'm not exactly sure right now. Here on this side we have a Nike store. There's light in there, though they're cardboard boxes. I don't think it's actually opened. We also have a Puma store over here. So let's continue. Let's have a look up here. This looks very Mediterranean now. Beautiful. The Puma shop is actually opened. I hear music, the door is opened, it looks well maintained. You can buy your clothes in there. And we have another museum up here, the Coconut Crafts Cultural Museum. What is it with all these museums here on the island? This island was meant to be a tropical tourist destination, also targeted towards international tourists, though I don't think anyone outside China knows this place even exists. But if I go to a tropical beach holiday, a museum is probably the last thing on my list I want to visit. I want to go to the beach, I want to swim, but I think Chinese people are not as much into beaches and they prioritize other activities on their holidays. And now we're entering a second German town. Look at this down here. Another German area. Now let's have a look down to the water here. There's a beautiful carriage down here. Nice for taking your photos, I think. But look at the other side over here. You see all these constructions down here, though they've never been finished. These constructions have never been finished down here. And I have to say now it does start to look a little bit creepy. Let's see if we can have a look over there. Yeah, let's see though if we can go down there. This is another petal. We've explored the first petal of the flower. And here behind me, look at the super modern structure. It looks super sci-fi. This is the International Mall, which was meant to open with the rest of the island in 2020. Is it even open? Look at this over there, do you see that? The whole entrance seems to be barricaded off. We're gonna have a look to the mall now. It's called an International Shopping Mall. It looks pretty empty here. Okay, I'm not sure if we can get in there. Everything looks locked up actually. This whole place looks like a construction site. Uh-oh. Okay. I don't think this mall was ever finished. There's a tourist train coming. So you don't have to walk this whole island apparently. I think you can take one of these trains here. Let's see if there's even anyone in there. There's one person, and I think she's an employee. One person, a tourist train. Where can I buy tickets for the train? I'm tired of walking in the heat. Maybe we can find the train station. This up here, by the way, is the conference center from what I've seen on the map. Let's take this pathway. I don't think we're supposed to walk through here. but there have been other people walking through here before. So that's the conference center, beautifully shaped. I'm not sure what kind of conferences take place here. It's beautiful though. The door is open up there and the light is on. Maybe we can go in. Look, the light is on. There's like a lady over there stocking up the fridges. So you can probably rent this place out. Not sure exactly. It's open though. The paint's coming off here a little. But to be honest, the climate here is really tropical, and I think any structure, any building in this kind of climate needs a lot of maintenance. It is beautiful. Look at the structure. It's like, it reminds me of kind of like a flower, probably to fit the theming of the whole island. And now we're gonna have a look to this huge structure over there. Of course, I did my research. I read the map of the island, but this is the main hotel, the Castle Hotel, and it's huge. It has 5,000 rooms. So let's see if we can go over there and check it out. On the signage we have Russian, so Mandarin, English, Russian, and Korean. Korean, South Korea or North Korea? Because as far as I know, high-ranking officials from North Korea sometimes spend their holiday here in China. So could be North Koreans, I'm not sure. And Castle Hotel, we have to go straight. That's the Castle Hotel, straight. So do we have to go down here? Because not exactly sure if this is the right way, but it says Castle Hotel goes straight. This might be an underground passage. Oh no, it's entirely overgrown. I hope there are no tropical spiders in those leaves. Because I absolutely hate spiders and I'm so scared of them. Though I should probably rather be scared of snakes, I think. They're probably the bigger danger here. Still water, we better don't step in there. Let's see if there's a way leading over to the hotel. I actually don't think so. I'm not sure, I'm not entirely sure. I also didn't plan on doing any urbexing today, so I don't have any flashlight. My phone has to be enough. I see some stairs over there, so maybe we can get into the hotel. Let's see. It's a bit creepy. It's a bit creepy, I have to say. Now you can see me. Okay, there's stairs. The escalators are not working. But maybe we can go up there. I get the feeling I'm not supposed to be here. Okay. This is not an official entrance. It's not the right way. It's not the right way. No. Okay, there are more people a bit confused. But that is definitely not the right way. I had to climb over the couches here. There's some sort of payment terminals here. I'm not sure you can buy tickets here. I don't know what for. I think I made it over to the Castle Hotel though. Yeah, that's a conference center. And now we're here at the Castle Hotel. It's huge, so 5,000 rooms. There are some buses here. I did see some buses going around, probably bringing people in and out. But they usually seem pretty empty, the buses. I haven't seen a single person in them when they were driving by. So now how do we get to this hotel? Everything here seems like closed. I know it's open for booking because I saw it on trip.com. They have rooms. Let's translate what this sign here means. So there's two bus drivers over here. They just told me the entrance should be around this corner. So this looks better over here. Wow, look at this lion with wings. Very nice, very nice. This seems to be the right entrance now to the hotel. Castle Hotel Ocean Flower Island. Let's see if we can have a look around. Wow, the garden here is beautiful. And I see some more tourists over there. So this might be where tourists stay. Though I can't imagine that all of the 5,000 rooms are occupied right now. Maybe in high season. Again, I don't know what this place looks like in high season. I do not want to say that this is a failed project. I do not know enough about Ocean Flower Island to call it failed. Though it does seem a bit eerie in some places. Here we have the hotel. It's a big rabbit, a big pink rabbit and a snake because we have the year of the snake. And that's beautiful. Look at this. A beautiful castle hotel. The guy out there told me it's okay for me to go in, have a look around. Look at this, it's beautiful. It does remind me somewhat of like Disney, of a theme park. It's very playful, I would say, with like all the colors, the patterns. And I see a few other tourists here. I see more tourists here than during my whole time in the commercial streets, in the European streets. I'm back outside. I just left the Castle Hotel, and over here, these are all the structures, all the buildings that we saw from the other paddle before. I wish we could have a closer look, but the only road leading in there seems to be blocked off down here. They've put all these flowers here. Maybe we can find another way, though the distances are huge here on this island. This island is so big, but I saw you can rent these electric tricycles. Let's see if I can get a electric tricycle, because that would make my life much easier. Let's see if we can scan the code in Alipay. It seems to work. Let's see if I can figure this out. So it's 16 yuan for 10 minutes. That's not too bad. So I think I got the car. It made a noise and the display is on. So let's see. Okay. So we have gas, brake. It says reach 69 kilometers. I don't think we can even ride that far on this island. Woo. Let's go. Wow. Guys, this is full speed. I'm going full speed. Oh, wait, I think I'm driving in an area where I'm not supposed to drive. I just stopped over here. think I cannot drive over there. Why does it stop? Now. Let's go. Let's not get too close to the hotel, because I think that's where I'm not allowed to drive. Wow, the speed is incredible. Better than walking though. So let's see, what is this here? No one here. The gates are open. Hao. Up the mountain, up the hill, it's even. Oh, now it starts talking. So over here we have all these big villas. Oh, okay, it's stopping now. It just stopped. What am I gonna do now? Maybe I left the range where I'm allowed to go. Let's see. Let's try to get it back. I'm not sure. I don't think it's working anymore. Oh fuck, I just stranded in the middle of the road. Okay, let's try to bring it over here. At least out of the middle of the road. Fuck, let's try scanning it. Maybe I have to give it back. I'm actually not sure what's happening. What does it say? Translate. Over here you can see all these unfinished, abandoned places, and there are so many of these. They're everywhere here. Though I have this bike now and I can't give it back here, so let's try to walk it back to the service area. Yeah, it starts driving again. Oh, it's going fast now down the hill. Wow. Wow. So it was going fast for a minute, but it's like stopping again. Okay, this bike sucks. I understand why this app has only a 1.5 star rating. Let's push it. Let's see. Yes, back in the service area. Let's go. Woo! I really want to have a look at these unfinished constructions. I tried to give back my bike and I got the notification that I can only give back this bike at the exact station where I picked it up. So it's basically useless. I wanted to give it back at one of the other stations. They're spread out all across the island, though you cannot do that. You have to give it back where you picked it up. So you can't even use it to go from A to B. Why is it stopping now? Oh fuck, is it because I'm going against the... I'm going in the wrong direction? Oh my. Is this better? Yes. Wow, this is the most annoying electric bike I've ever rented. By the way, if you're curious how fast that thing is going, 13 kilometers an hour. I can run faster than this. There's all the buildings. That's where I want to have a look. So now, this is the station over there. That's where I picked up the bike. I'm gonna give it back there because that thing sucks. That sucks so hard. I'd rather walk. Okay, back exactly where I started on the bike. Now let's go, let's walk and have a closer look to the construction site up here. Here we can see the villas. They even have a lift. So they seem like halfway finished. There's no handrails, for example, at the stairs. So it seems to be like halfway finished. The inside is probably completely empty still. They've put some pretty wood here on the outside. I imagine once these are finished, they'll be really beautiful. I don't know if they will ever be finished since the company Evergrande is bankrupt now. There are so many of these houses though. Here's another one. So this was probably a duplex. There's 2 elevators and 2 homes. Oh, I think there's a road leading down here. So yeah, you can see there's still a booth that was probably in use back then when there was active construction going on. Toilets for the workers. Now everything is left. So over here we have a much better view of all these abandoned buildings over here. Now let's head back to the street. I see a little pathway here. We've arrived to the next paddle, and this one is where the water park is located. This water park is open, this water park is in use. You can buy tickets for it. Here you have these slides. You can see the slides. I don't see the water running, but also the park is only opening at 2 p.m. Right now it's 2:07 p.m. So I guess it's gonna open up soon. But of course there's the chance that when I visit this park, I'm gonna be the only visitor. I'm very well aware of that the slides are only running for me and for me only. Another map. We're down here now. Here we have the water park, we have the animal park with sea animals, and down here we have a hot spring town. All of these activities here on this paddle are open, so there's actually lots to do. I just saw here behind me shows are taking place down here, so you can buy tickets to watch shows in the evening. So there's definitely a lot of entertainment going on. Next I want to check out this paddle, and this is where the unfinished theme park or the theme park under construction is located. So let's check this out now. I think we've arrived at the unfinished theme park. That's it. I love urbexing, and theme parks are probably one of my favorite spots to urbex. I've actually urbexed one of China's biggest abandoned theme parks last year. So if you're interested, go check out this video. And here we have another beautiful abandoned park. I find these places just so fascinating. Look around, the construction is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So as I said before, the lady in my hotel told me upon check-in that the park is under maintenance. From what I know, it never opened its gates. They do have some roller coasters and stuff in there. I wish I could have a look inside. Here you see under construction, please keep away. I mean, they don't do a very good job keeping people out. Urbexes can get in there so easily. With all the amounts of cameras they have around here, I don't think it's the best idea, though. It's not really like an abandoned place, because it's like in the middle of a touristy island, though there are not many people around. There's this car is like going quite slow over there. He's probably watching me. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, it's China, there are cameras everywhere. They have every single one of my movements on camera. But yeah, beautiful. It is pretty hot. I think I've seen most of the island. The last paddle that's left is just a park area and it's just way too hot to check that out right now. So I think that's my sign to head back to the hotel. I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This place that probably no one outside of China ever heard of. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.